My fellow Americans. Hyperinflation. I was talking to a guy today about hyperinflation. This guy's job is to know about money. And I would hope that he's pretty good at it because I pay him money for his ideas on money. We'll just leave it at that. And when you have somebody who's a professional saying, hey, I'm concerned about inflation and perhaps hyperinflation under the current economic direction of these United States of America, that gives somebody like me a little bit of pause. Inflation is a given, says me. Now, I'm not the Secretary of the Treasury, but knowing what I do know, surrounding myself with the best people, tremendous. What I do know is if you cut a piece of pie, if you cut a pie into two pieces, you got two pieces and both pieces are worth 50%. You cut that pie into four pieces, you got four pieces. Those pieces are no longer worth 50%. They're worth 25%. They have 25% the value, which is half of 50. Cut it into 8 pieces. Each one of those pieces is worth 12.5%. Right? Now 1/4 of the value of the original 2 pieces that we had. That's inflation. You have more pieces, but they're worth less. You don't need a Harvard degree to figure out basic economics like that, regardless of what your masters may have told you. So when you print money, you get inflation. And we're printing a lot of money. Hyperinflation is when things grow, the cost of things grow at an exorbitant rate to the point where you simply cannot keep up. And I found it very interesting that somebody that I pay for their professional monetary opinion brought up damn near casually in a conversation that they're concerned about hyperinflation. And this person even went as far as to say the C word, collapse. And so we, of course, had a discussion about the value of barter. It begs the question, what have you got to barter and who have you got to barter with? I've got a few things for barter. Eggs, chickens, cows, sheep, lambs, 1 goat. You can have the goat for free. I don't want that damn thing. It's a pain in the ass. That wasn't very presidential of me, was it? Silver, brass, lead, canning jars, fuel, firewood, clean water, tarps, warm clothes. Look at that, a cow pissing. You missed it. You missed it. You missed all the action. Sorry about that. So you gotta have things to barter. You gotta have things to barter with, right? What has inherent value? Well, that's for you to decide. But it just strikes me as odd as somebody whose job it is to manage money is concerned about a time when there won't be any. Take that as an indicator. And think about, what would you do if you can't go to the store? Where would you build a store? What area of your neighborhood or of your county or of your small town or whatever, where would you set up a farmer's market, a co-op, buy-sell trade spot? How are you going to protect it? Who are you going to protect it from? What's your area study? Who are your regular and irregular threats? There's some guy, Bear something, it's got a channel, talks about area studies. It's got like one of them, I think it's called the Prepper Classroom series there. You might check that out. I think there's one on an area study there. Who's the good guys? Who's the bad guys? Figure all that out. How do you secure that place from the meatheads and the dope heads? What have you got to buy, sell, trade? Hyperinflation means that people, among many other things, it means that people take their money out of intangible assets and they put them into tangible assets like whole oats and fine infused cigars and moo cows and hay and land. And so, of course, many would say the dollar can't fail. Of course it can. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it can't happen. They would never do that. Just because we haven't experienced it here doesn't mean it can't happen. Homemade gummy bear. The Weimar Republic of Germany. Wheelbarrow full of cash. Wheelbarrow full of cash for a loaf of bread. Might seem crazy to have some buckets full of wheat stacked back, and maybe some Fleischmann's yeast, a little bit of sugar put up. But do you have a wheelbarrow of cash for a loaf of bread? I don't. Interesting times we're living in, friends. Interesting times. Personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. I heard a older gentleman with a big white beard said one time, do the best you can with what you got where you're at. That's not an excuse. It means go do the best that you can. Personal responsibility, because this system ain't gonna be around forever. Societies come and go, but humanity endures. You just want to endure. You want to be on that team, not the going team. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Blue Collar Press, out.